Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to deal with Standard 10 Science and Technology Part 2nd Lesson number 2 Life Process in Living Organism Part 1st. So in the last video we have solved question number 1, question number 2 and question number 3. So in this video we will continue with the question number 4, 5 and 6 with point-wise solved exercise. Question number 4. Give scientific reason. First one. Oxygen is necessary for complete oxidation of glucose. We know that respiration is the process where oxidation of glucose occurs. Respiration is divided into two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, we know that oxygen is present, so oxidation of glucose is complete and hence more energy is produced. In anaerobic respiration, oxygen is absent. That's why incomplete oxidation of glucose is there and less energy is produced. So let's see point-wise reason of the statement. First one, a molecule of glucose is completely oxidized in aerobic respiration to form carbon dioxide, water and energy. Second, three steps are involved, namely glycolysis, Krebs cycle and electron transfer chain. Third point, but in anaerobic respiration, that is in absence of oxygen, glucose is incompletely oxidized. Fourth point, glycolysis and fermentation produces organic acid, alcohol and lesser amount of energy. Hence, oxygen is necessary for complete oxidation of glucose. Second, fibers are one of the important nutrients. Answer, first one, though fibers cannot be digested by humans, they are essential nutrients. Second, fiber promote in movement of materials in digestive system, so help in digestion. Third, they also help in exhaustion, that is removal of undigested substances from the body. Fourth, vegetables, fruits, cereals, etc. are source of fibers. Hence, fibers are one of the important nutrients. Third, cell division is one of the important properties of cell and organism. Answer, in unicellular organisms, new organisms are formed due to cell division. In multicellular organisms, the growth of the organisms depend on cell division. It is also essential for restoration of emaciated, that is abnormally weak body. Cell division is an important aspect of wound healing, formation of blood cells and other important life process. Hence, cell division is one of the important properties of cell and organism. Fourth, sometimes higher plants and animals too perform anaerobic respiration. Answer, in respiration, oxidation of glucose produces energy. In higher plants and animals require oxygen in order to respire aerobically. But when oxygen level is depleted, these organisms perform anaerobic respiration to obtain energy. In this process, glucose is incompletely oxidized and lesser amount of energy is obtained. Hence, sometimes higher plants and animals too perform anaerobic respiration. Fifth, Krebs cycle is also known as citric acid cycle. Answer, after glycolysis, Krebs cycle starts in aerobic respiration. Citric acid, that is citrate, is the first stable compound formed in Krebs cycle. Third point, after completing the cycle, we get citric acid molecule again. Hence, it is also called as citric acid cycle. So this Krebs cycle we are going to see in detail afterwards. Okay. Question 5. Answer in detail. First one. Explain glycolysis in detail. See the diagram first. What you see in the diagram? The glucose is converted into pyruvic acid. Okay. One molecule of glucose is converted into two molecules of pyruvic acid. And during this process, two molecules of ATP and two molecules of NADH2 are formed. This is the overall process of glycolysis. Okay. Let's see the answer point-wise. Glycolysis is very first step of aerobic respiration in which glucose start to oxidize. It takes place in cytoplasm. It is very important. Glycolysis is the process takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell. Glycolysis is the process where glucose is converted into pyruvic acid, which is also called as pyruvate. In all, this process involves 10 steps where, along with pyruvate, 2 molecules of ATP, 2 molecules of NADH2 are produced. Next, with the help of suitable diagram, explain the mitosis in detail. First one, mitosis is the process of cell division occurring in somatic cells. Somatic cells means the cells which are other than germ cells, okay, and the stem cells. It is essential for growth, restoration, wound healing, etc. It is completed through two main processes. See the flow chart. Mitosis is completed in two different steps. The first step is karyokinesis, that is nuclear division, and the second step is cytokinesis, that is cytoplasmic division. The nuclear division is again divided into 4 stages or 4 steps: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Let's see all these steps in detail. This is first phase, that is prophase. Okay, see here, if you see the diagram first, you will get that there is a circle shaped cell in which a nucleus, dotted nucleus is shown. Okay, let's see the first point. Chromosome condenses become short and thick. They appear along with their sister chromatids. Okay, so let's first clear the concept of sister chromatids, homologous chromosome, these terms. Okay, so this is a diagram of homologous chromosome. See, one chromosome I have drawn with the green color and the other chromosome I have drawn with the blue color. So what is homologous chromosome? So these are pair of chromosomes having approximately same length, same centromere position. Okay, in a pair, one chromosome is from mother and the other is from father. Okay, like this, these similar chromosomes, they remain closely attached with each other. Okay, so what happened with that? During the mitosis, both the homologous chromosome replicate themselves, that means they form a same copy of themselves. Here you can see that the green colored chromosome forms one more green colored chromosome and they together called as sister chromatids. Okay, and the blue color chromosome, again it forms one more blue colored chromosome and they are called sister chromatids together. Okay, so if you see, they are present in the common centromere form. Okay, so they are remain in attached or joint form. Okay, with the common centromere. If you see the diagram at the end, you will get the meaning of sister chromatid. Okay, so these are the sister chromatids and they remain attached with each other with the common centromere. So sister chromatids are identical copies of one chromosome from a pair of homologous chromosome. Okay, so I think you got the meaning of homologous chromosome and sister chromatid. Okay, so let's see prophase in detail. In prophase, second point, if you see, they appear along with their sister chromatids, right? Centrioles duplicate and each centriole moves to opposite poles. If you see, centrioles usually present are in the pair form, that means in the number of 2. Okay, but in the prophase they duplicate, means from 2 they form number 4. Okay, and they remain in a pair of 2. Okay, so 2 pairs, they separate each other and try to move to the pole of the cell. Okay, see the fourth point, nuclear membrane and nucleolus start disappearing. That's why I have drawn the nucleus in the dotted form. Okay, this is all about the prophase of mitosis. Okay, let's see the next, that is metaphase. So what happened in the metaphase? First one, nuclear membrane completely disappear. Now there is no nucleus in the cell. Okay, whatever will happen, it is happen entirely inside the cytoplasm. Okay, second point, chromosomes complete their condensation and clearly visible with sister chromatids. all the chromosomes are arranged at equatorial plane. See, if you see the diagram, how they have arranged, they are arranged at metaphase plate. Okay, that means at the equatorial plane of the cell. Spindle fibers are formed between centromere of chromosomes and both centriole. If you see here, the thread-like structure, black color thread-like structure, which starts from the centriole and ends to the chromosome. Some are start from the centriole and ends to the chromosome. Some are starts from one centriole and ends to the other centriole. Okay, like these different spindle fibers are arranged throughout the cell. Okay, from pole to pole. Okay, all these sister chromatids, they arrange themselves at the equatorial plane. Okay, so this is all about metaphase. Next step is anaphase. So what is there in the anaphase? Centromere splits and sister chromatids separate. So we know that sister chromatids are attached to each other with the help of centromere. Okay, if this centromere gets splits, break, what happens? These sister chromatids will separate and one of the sister chromatid enters or pulled by the one pole and other sister chromatid is pulled by the other pole. So they get separated from each other. Okay, let's see the next point. They appear like a bunch of bananas when all the sister chromatids, all the one sister chromatid from a pair, if they get pulled to the pole, so they appear like a bunch of bananas. Okay, last point, each set of chromosomes reach to opposite poles of the cells. So till the end of anaphase, what happened? The sister chromatid, they reach at the pole. Last step of karyokinesis is telophase. First point, chromosome starts decondensed, so again become thread-like and invisible. See, in the telophase, all the process occur exactly opposite to the process occurred in the prophase, right? So reverse process is there. If you see the diagram properly, all the condensed chromosomes, they open and they get decondensed. Okay, again after decondensing they get invisible. Okay, nuclear membrane form around each set of chromosomes at poles. Thus, two daughter nuclei are formed in a cell. Nucleolus also reappears in each daughter cells. Spindle fibers completely disappear. Okay, that means in one cell two nucleus are present in the telophase. Okay, if you see, the phase is appearing like a prophase, appearing like a exactly inverse or reverse of the prophase. Okay, next is cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means what? Division of cytoplasm. We have divided the nucleus into two equal parts. Okay, now let's see how the cytoplasm is get divided. The cytoplasm divide and two cells are formed called daughter cell. If you see the diagram properly, two different cells are formed and both of them are called as daughter cell. Notch, which is also called as contractile ring, is formed at the equatorial plane, which deepens gradually and two new cells are formed when they meet each other. These contractile ring, when meet each other, two cells separate from each other. Okay, in case of plant cell, instead of notch, cell plate is formed at the middle of the cell. Thus cytokinesis is completed. Here mitosis is also completed. So in this way the mitosis is explained stepwise. Next, with the help of suitable diagram, explain 5 stages of prophase 1 of meiosis. See students, we know that meiosis is performed in the two stages, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. And meiosis 1 has prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. From that, Here they have asked about prophase 1 to explain. Okay, let's see the answer. First point, prophase 1 of meiosis 1 is longer phase and very important phase as recombination of chromosome takes place in this phase. We will see how the recombination of chromosome will take place. Okay, second point, this phase is subdivided into 5 phases. Let's see all the phases one by one. First is leptotene. Okay, if you see the diagram properly, here again the sister chromatids, they are present in the pair form. Okay, so the homologous chromosome, they are not in the paired form, so they separated from each other, but sister chromatids, they remain in contact with each other. So let's see the first point. Chromosomes appear thread-like structure and made of 2 sister chromatids. During leptotene, compaction of chromosomes occur and chromosomes become more visible. Okay, just like in the prophase of mitosis, here also the chromosomes start condensed and become more and more visible. To remind about the homologous chromosome and sister chromatid, let's see the diagram again. So this is the diagram that I have already shown to you. Homologous chromosome, they get separate, they, each of them, they form one more copy of itself and it remain attached with its copy with a common centromere called as sister chromatids. Okay, let's move to the next step, that is zygotene. First, during zygotene, pairing of homologous chromosome occur. See here, now we know that homologous chromosome, they are already paired with their sister chromatid. Okay, so all the 4 chromosomes, they form a pair. This is called as synapsis. Chromosome is in tetrad condition in this phase. See, tetrad means what? 4 chromosomes, they come in close contact with each other, that's why they are called as tetrad. Okay, or bivalent condition. This condition is also called as bivalent condition. If you see the diagram properly, the one end of sister chromatids, or we can say non-sister chromatids from the homologous chromosome, they remain attached with each other. Okay, pachytene or pachytene. Okay, first point, exchange of genetic material takes place in this phase. This is known as recombination or crossing over. If you see the diagram properly, the one non-sister chromatid and the other non-sister chromatid from homologous chromosome, okay, non-sister chromatid from homologous chromosome, they cross over to each other, they exchange their parts, okay, but they still remain in attached with each other. Okay, this recombination takes place between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome. So I hope you understand the difference between non-sister chromatid and sister chromatid, and the difference between sister chromatid and homologous chromosome. Okay, now don't get confused. Diplotene, this is the longest stage. Formation of chiasmata means point of attachment takes place. Here, if you see the diagram properly, you will find that non-sister chromatid, they start to move the point of attachment, that is chiasmata, it start to move to the terminal of the homologous chromosome. Okay, this movement to the terminal, to the tip of the homologous chromosome starts in this phase. Okay, so the last point, homologous chromosomes starts separating, that is chiasmata starts moving to the terminal region. Okay, next is dikinesis. Dikinesis, in this stage, chiasmata completely moves to the end, but they remain attached. Second, nuclear membrane and nucleolus start disappearing. In this way, prophase 1 of meiosis 1 completed. So if you observe the diagrams carefully, I have not drawn the diagram of cell full, okay, full cell diagram. I have only drawn the diagram of nucleus here. Okay, from start to end, from leptotene to dikinesis, I have drawn the diagram of only nucleus. Okay. Next, how all the life process contribute to the growth and development of the body? Answer. Various life processes like nutrition, digestion, respiration, excretion, circulation, control and coordination are essential for growth and development. Let's see one by one. Nutrition. This process is the essential in this process, the essential nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, fibers are taken up by the body for proper functioning of the cell. Next is digestion. This process in which food broken down into simpler and absorbable substance. For example, carbohydrate converted to simpler sugar like glucose, protein converted to amino acids, fats converted to fatty acids and glycerols. Next is respiration. In this process, foodstuffs are oxidized either in presence or absence of oxygen, releasing energy. Next is excretion. It is a process of removal of harmful metabolic waste from the body of the organism. If waste product do not excrete, accumulates in the body and become toxic. Hence, this process is very important. Next is circulation. In humans, transportation of oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and other substances is carried out by well-defined circulatory system. Okay. Next is control and coordination. Different types of movements require control and coordination, which is carried out by nervous system. Last, cell division. In both unicellular and multicellular organisms, cell division play a crucial role in restoration, wound healing, gamete formation, etc. Next, explain the Krebs cycle with reaction. Answer. Tricarboxylic acid cycle or Krebs cycle is the second step of aerobic respiration. We know that after glycolysis it comes Krebs cycle. Okay. It occurs in mitochondria. It is very important point. Let's see the diagrammatic representation of all the reactions in Krebs cycle. So this is the diagrammatic representation of TCA cycle. So the cycle starts with the formation of citrate, which is also called as citric acid. See at the top of the cycle. Then citrate is converted into isocitrate. Then it converts to alpha ketoglutarate. While conversion, NADH and carbon dioxide released from alpha ketoglutarate, it converts to succinyl-CoA. During the process, NADH and CO2 again released. Succinyl-CoA to succinate. See the diagram properly. The GTP and CoA, coenzyme A, they get released. This GTP again it forms the ATP. From succinate, it forms fumarate. In this process, FADH2 is released. Fumarate to malate, it has water molecule to added in the process. That means hydration process is occur. Okay, from malate to oxaloacetate. In this process, NADH is released, and from oxaloacetate, acetyl-CoA is formed, and from acetyl-CoA again the citrate is formed. In this process, CoA is released. That means the process is cyclic. Citric acid, which is the start point of this reaction, again form at the end of the cycle. Okay, that's why it is called as tricarboxylic acid cycle. Okay, if you draw this diagram in the exam, okay, it is enough. Okay, no need to explain each and every step in the word form. Okay, the products formed during TCA, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle, are carbon dioxide, coenzyme A, ATP, NADH2 and FADH2. Okay, let's see the next question. How energy is formed from oxidation of carbohydrates, fats and proteins? Correct the diagram given below. This is incorrect diagram given in the textbook. Okay, let's see first the answer of first question. First point, carbohydrates are used as the first source of energy. Oxidation of glucose gives ATP molecules. Second, in condition of insufficient carbohydrate, lipids and proteins are used for energy production. See, the lipid is converted into fatty acids and proteins are converted into amino acid. These simpler molecules, that is fatty acids and amino acids, are converted into acetyl CoA, and it is completely oxidized in mitochondria in Krebs cycle. This acetyl CoA enters into the Krebs cycle and forms citrate. Okay, there it produces CO2, that is carbon dioxide, coenzyme A, ATP, NADH2, FADH2. Following is the corrected diagram of the process of energy production. See, this is the corrected diagram. See, at the top, lipids, carbohydrates and proteins. From them, at the end, if you see, carbon dioxide, coenzyme A and energy is formed. Means from all the three nutrients, energy is produced. Okay. See, if you see the lipid, first it converted into fatty acid and then acetyl CoA, and then it follows Krebs cycle and energy is produced. Carbohydrate, if you see, glycolysis occur, pyruvic acid is formed, and it converted to acetyl CoA and again Krebs cycle and energy. Then protein, if you see, it converts to amino acids first and then it converts to acetyl CoA, again enters into Krebs cycle, and finally the energy is produced. So thank you, student. Hope you understand everything that I have explained. Okay, if you want to see the previous questions of the same exercise, you need to subscribe my channel. Okay, then only you will get the playlist of all the videos that I have uploaded. Thank you, students. See you again.